And welcome to Tinfoil Hat, live from the Wise Wolf Gold and Silver Studios. Just go to samtripoli.gold, use the promo code Tinfoil, and you too can get on the Precious Metals game for as little as $50 a month. Very excited to have our next guest on. He's a filmmaker. He's touring his film right now. Please welcome Peter Hyoguchi. Hyoguchi. Yeah, I nailed that.
Yeah, almost. That's all right.
I'm trying, dude. I'm trying.
That's all right. It's Hyoguchi. The English language has no sound that sounds like that. There's no Hyo in English. There's Hugh, but no Hyo.
Well,
but yeah, I'm half Japanese. My dad's Japanese.
I love that, dude. Welcome to Tinfoil Hat. Very excited we could make it happen. I saw you at Jay Davis's comedy show, and here we are together again. Now,
thanks for having me.
No, I'm glad. For those who may not be familiar with you, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and where our listeners can find you, Peter?
Well, I grew up in LA. Been making movies my whole life. They can go to roninfilm.com, just like the samurai, roninfilm.com.
Oh, hell yeah.
And my ancestors are samurai, so I'm paying tribute to them with the company name. And then I've been on tour with this movie called The Occult and theoccultmovie.com. And that's a movie that I directed and I produced and co-wrote with my friend Robert Flowers. And we made this movie for pretty much nothing, but it looks like $1 million. And I did something different with the film in a lot of respects. First of all, it's a horror film, but there's the stand-up comedians. It's mostly stand-up comedians in the cast, and the film takes place in L.A. Was shot in L.A. I did something different with the film, which was I decided to distribute the movie myself in theaters only. So the film is only available in movie theaters. And the reason why I did that was I finished the film a little over a year ago, and I realized that there were a lot less movies in theaters because I made the movie to be in theaters. The movie's got a Dolby 5.1 surround sound. It's in 4K. I really made it for a movie theater, and the studios are kind of falling apart. They are falling apart. They're in mid-fall, and they're not picking up independent films like they used to. In fact, just films in general in the theater, there's a lot less of them. It feels like there's less of them, but I didn't know how much the drop off was until I actually counted. So here's the math that went into it. In the year 2000, not that long ago. In the year 2000.
All right, that was a good bit. Yeah.
In the year 2000, January of 2000, collectively Hollywood released 31 movies to the movie theaters. And that was a pretty normal month. In fact, that's kind of an anemic month. Januaries are usually kind of a slow month. So how many movies came out in 2026, January 2026? 9. So we're going from 31 movies in theaters to 9 movies in theaters and in a month. And in fact, we're getting about a movie a week, sometimes 2. And sometimes a week goes by, there's not even one new movie. So there's a lot less movies being made for the theater. And so people complain. They go, oh, there's not a lot of movies, not a lot of good movies, but it's really, there's not a lot of movies, just period. And, in LA, we feel it because there's so many people out of work and production is slowed down to a crawl, both in television and in film. And so I went to this convention, this theater, the movie theater convention. It's called CinemaCon, and it's at every year they have a big convention at Caesar's Palace, and all the movie theater owners from around the world come, and the studios do these presentations of the latest movies that are going to come out that year. So I went, and I was the only independent filmmaker selling his movie to theaters, the only one. It's like Warner Brothers and Paramount and Lionsgate and Disney, and then like me, and wandering around with these little flyers. And the theaters were real receptive. Now, normally they would not want to talk to me at all because there'd be plenty of movies for them to show. But since there weren't enough movies, they were happy to make a little deal with me It used to be called four-walling. If you would independently distribute your movie in theaters, you'd pay money up front. It's expensive. And, $500, $1,000 up front per screening, so, and so what I did was instead I said, let me do a 50-50 split, with you from the ticket. You keep all the concessions. I keep half of the ticket prices and I sell my merch. And I did, this has been over 100 screenings. I haven't paid to screen yet. It's all been the 50-50 split, which is a better deal than Hollywood gives them. And so I've been just going to town, just like a stand-up comic. In fact, I talked to my comic friends for advice before I went on tour about how to promote, how to use social media, how to get attention in the press, and just practical things. How do you go and tour America? Small town, big town, little town. I mean, I'm doing like rural drive-in in Iowa in the middle of a cornfield. I'm doing multiplexes in Detroit. But it's been Florida, Texas, California, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Indiana, Iowa, Georgia. I'm sure I'm missing one of those places, but
you're doing it. You're doing it, dude. And that is, that's what the future is, I think. I really do think, once everyone figures out how to fund movies, I think we're going to have a renaissance in movies. I think you could see us getting back to 70s quality movies with better plots, better acting, better everything. I mean, yesterday, I forget what game we were watching. I think we were watching the NCAA championship, football championship, and a trailer came out for a movie involves a plane exploding, and a couple people survive on an island, and the woman is doing all the hunting and gathering, and the guy's just sitting there like, rah.
Rachel McAdams, right?
Yeah,
Rachel McAdams.
It's called Send Help. It's directed by Sam Raimi.
Yeah, and it's again, you got to ask yourself: Has America told Hollywood we don't like these narratives? Because like these chicks are kicking ass in these movies, which is great. But if I tell my girlfriend she can't tell a story, she fucking cries. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just people are fucking over it, dude. They're over this kind of push to completely annihilate our archetypes and force us to believe new archetypes that chicks can kick everybody's ass. And it's like it's boring. Like when it was cool when Angelina Jolie and her fat rack were out there beating up everybody because that was an anomaly.
Or Kill Bill, like Kill Bill 2, that was like once in a while.
And then you had like the Terminator chick and Sigourney Weaver and Aliens. That's 4 in like 30 years, and that's why they did well. Every single show and television is this now. And as you talk about how the studios are dying, I just saw an article where like banks are about to foreclose on these studios.
They did. Radford just got foreclosed on, where they did Twilight Zone, and I think Friends was there too. I mean, it's a huge history of film at Warner Brothers Radford.
Well, do you have hope for in-person exhibition, like proper cinemas? I know.
My whole life is about, I've dedicated my whole life to it.
Well, I adore, we're lucky to live in LA because it's still vibrant here. I would say if you go to the right place.
The theaters aren't going anywhere. People love movies. If you have a good movie like Top Gun, people will come see it, and they'll come see it. They'll come see it again and again. Godzilla was awesome. So it's like, if you have a good movie, people will come. The problem is there's not enough movies. So like if you take 100 pieces of art or 100 movies or 100 TV shows or 100 records, maybe one is going to be truly great.
Yeah.
But if you just take 10, then of course there's probably not going to be a wonderful work of art in there. It's a numbers game. Unfortunately, art is like you can't just crank out art on a consistent level. So you've got to make a lot of it, and then one of them or a handful of them are going to be great. It's not like older movies were better. It was just there was more of them, and so we had a better shot. It's just like going to Vegas. It's like you have better odds taking $1,000 to Vegas than $50.
You could also trust critics back then. Critics now are all political. Like if something vibes with what they believe, they'll say, "Oh, it's a great film," and you go see it, and you're like,
"Yeah."
What?
I mean, there aren't really critics anymore to speak of. It used to be there was like a handful of critics, like Siskel and Ebert, and then, but now everyone's a critic, and everyone, the whole internet is a critic, and I think that actually that's probably better. But what's nice is I'm from LA, and I get an LA point of view, and it was really wonderful to go out and to the country, the real country, because I'm told as an LA person that people in Texas or people in Wisconsin or Minnesota, they're like backwards and stupid, or
it's so not that,
and it's like incredible. There's like people everywhere. There's dumb people everywhere. There's smart people everywhere. And people are pretty savvy, and they're also really sick of being pushed into this agenda, this satanic agenda. And the movie is about Satanism, and there is a satanic agenda. Everything about Satanism can be summed up with the upside down cross, which is their symbol, which is anti-Christ, right? Anti-good, and everything's inversion. So the inversion of gender. So part of this ancient religion, which is totally real and what the movie's about, is this inversion of things like gender, where certain satanic families will raise a boy a girl or a girl a boy as a sacrifice to a god or a deity to invert their gender. They'll tell the child, the little boy, that they're a girl, and they may even go far as to give them surgery or give them hormones. But it's an ancient practice. It's not new. This whole trans agenda is it's really an ancient agenda, and the whole subversion from male, what a male is and their role in society, and then switching it to to this other thing, like the women are super powerful and can lift, huge, it's like they physically are not as strong. So there's this whole inversion of reality that's going on. And it's really in a small group of people's hands who've controlled this industry for a real long time, and they've been kind of trying to push the agenda slowly for most of America was Christian, and they weren't going to buy a lot of the stuff that Hollywood was dealing, even though a lot of these people who ran Hollywood were Satanists and had this other religion, this ancient religion. They wouldn't really try to impose it too hard on the masses, because it would just be like fully slow rollout. Exactly. It would be rejected because, this is a Christian country, and it's like, they're not going to go for it. But, at some point right now they're really going hard, like the new Star Trek show. I mean, it's like these woke shows and TV, it's like the reason why they're financially failing is because the audience is not going with it. They're just not.
Well, I'm surprised now. Are you surprised, Sam? We talked about this, how seemingly popular that gay hockey show is. Like, dude, all the ladies are loving that show. And it's
very interesting because there's been a lot of talk about why women love to watch gay men, because there's nothing. What's the word I'm talking about? What's the word I'm looking for? There's nothing. There's nothing in it for them. I'm all an idiot. I can't remember the word, but there's nothing in that. Two men hooking up. When a man watches two women hook up, he always goes, I could get in the middle of that. There's something. There's more chance of procreation. With women, there's nothing there. And I remember when I was really young, I was in it's very funny. I was in Groundlings, and one of my classmates was Tom Segura, and we were watching these guys do a scene, and these two dudes started making out. And the guy's like, and the girls are like, yeah. And I turn to the girl, I go, why are you excited about that? And she goes to me, I don't know. Guys like to watch two girls hook up. So why can't we have the other way? I go, because you're not in this equation. That you don't fit into this equation. A guy is like, that's just two people I can try to impregnate. You know what I'm saying? Like that's literally
Exactly.
it. There's
It's
natural survival.
Right.
There's nothing instinctually for them in two men hooking
Right.
up.
It's like when
It's basically it's death. You know, I mean, that's what it is. Because it doesn't. There's no. You can't make a baby this way. There's no life in there.
Exactly.
They've been trying a long time too.
There's something about it that's satanic, and people get all upset about it. But it's if everyone was gay on the planet, that'd be end of the human race. So some people like that. Some people like the idea of the end of the human race, and those people are Satanists, whether they know it or not.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would even go as far to say that the slow rollout has been planned for a very long time.
Totally.
That the satanic panic of the 70s or 80s, whenever that came out, there you are, was actually done on purpose for this time. That you roll out these stories, you nationally manipulate them to make it seem like the people being charged with all this stuff didn't do it. You know, the Memphis Three. We've had many guests on saying those motherfuckers did it.
They totally did
Eccles, it.
And they totally did it.
Yeah.
They're open Satanists. It's so obvious if you just, but if you look at the HBO documentary that makes them look like heroes, they're covering for these kids. These kids are in the cult. There's
100% Johnny Depp showing up.
Yeah, exactly. There's secret societies. They raise a red flag. They're like, hey, we need support because we're being exposed. And if you read David, what's his name right now? It'll come to me. But there's a great Dave McGowan, great writer about this. He wrote a book, crucial book, and you can watch videos based on his book on YouTube. There's like thousands of them, but it's called oh my God, I forgot.
Is it
Dave McGowan's?
What is that book? It's called the something Studios or something like that, or it's about that.
Well, he wrote a book about the. He wrote two major books. One is about Laurel Canyon.
Yeah, Laurel Canyon.
Weird scenes inside the canyon.
Weird,
right?
yeah. And then the other one is called Program to Kill: The Politics of Serial Killers. And if you read that book, you can go on YouTube and listen to the audiobook. It's really fascinating. Is that this guy, he's not a conspiracy theorist. He's basically citing all these like real court cases and real transcripts and mainstream articles. And none of it is like conjecture. He's just basically putting the pieces together in a way that makes it really clear that there is a interlocking, interconnected, ancient bloodline secret societies, and they worship various forms of Satanism, just like Christianity has Baptists and Catholics and all of this kind of stuff. There's sort of an occult version of that, and they're very powerful, and it's absolutely real and documented. And these groups of people, they have like church services, but they're done in the middle of the night, and it includes pedophilia. It includes cannibalism, murder, and lots of murder, and torture, and the worst things possible. And these people many of them are in positions of power. And then it's intergenerational. It's not like you can just go join up. There are these families that kind of torture their children and force them to continue the bloodline. They have arranged marriages. This is real. This is in LA. I mean, this is how I found out about it firsthand. And there are people that they want to leave, they can't. And that was really the impetus for me to make this film, The Occult. Is I felt like there's a lot of information online about it, and it's finally, because the internet and social media has spread all of this information, that people can learn that this is like the horrible reality that we live in. It's very different than what we're told. and I wanted to make a real cinematic, entertaining movie that had to do with this kind of stuff. I mean, I guess it's a lot like.
You want to hear something crazy, dude? Because I have kids. They're 5. They're almost 6, and I just look for stuff that for them to watch with me. You know, and you hear a lot of stuff about kids on their iPads. The truth of the matter is like, because they've scared people so much of the outside that there's a bunch of like pedophile vans everywhere. And I'm not saying there's not. That kids stay inside now. And, this has been a giant psyop ever since they found that kid disappeared in Florida. And his dad went on to run, America's Most Wanted. He disappears. They find his head. Everyone's afraid that the kids are going to get kidnapped. That's the beginning of basically disconnecting everyone from their neighbors, keeping your kids inside. I'm not going to lie to you. My neighborhood, I look around, there's not a lot of kids my kids' age.
You got a nice neighborhood too. Yeah.
It's a nice neighborhood, but there's no kids my kids' age to go run around, and there's just random people driving around all the time. In a smaller town, everybody who's if there's a car you've never seen, everyone's like, who's that? But I'm watching Kung Fu Panda, and the movie's great, right? Well, they have a TV show on Amazon called Kung Fu Panda, and he takes these little kids, these little pandas, and teaches them the way. And the first one is they're going up against an evil demon, dragon, and there's a moment in where the dragon tries to bribe the village of pandas that's protecting that, like, they're the protected, what they call the chi, right? Which is interesting too. So they're protecting them, and the dragon literally goes, this is a scene. I'm like, what the fuck? And by the way, Kung Fu Panda has 2 dads. They have his biological dad, his
one of them's a duck. Yeah, you're right.
One's a duck.
Yeah,
they have 2 dads.
They can have a kid. They can't.
And everyone keeps asking if they're married. And I go, I don't care if you're gay. I really don't. God gave us free will. You're going to do what you want to do. We all deal with it on the other side when we get judged. I don't care. I have a lot of gay friends. I don't give a shit. There's no need for that in a kid show. But let's put that aside, which is annoying and hard to watch. This dragon goes to the village. I will give you everything you want. You just have to give me your children. And the pandas are like, no, we're not giving you these 4 kids. And the dragon literally says to the pandas, you won't sacrifice your children for all the dreams you've ever wanted. Anything you've ever wanted, you can have. You just have to sacrifice these kids. And I was like, dog, that is the darkest thing ever said on a kid show ever. Sacrifice your kids and you can have all your dreams. You don't think they say this to these people coming up? They're coming up and want fame? Sacrifice someone you love. We all hear about it, a blood sacrifice. Yeah. Sacrifice someone you love. You got to love them. You got to care
it's real. It's real. I mean, and it's not only is it real, but the people who've been paid and chosen to write a lot of these children's shows are part of these cults.
I'd be like, my brother, Benjamin Netanyahu, I love him so much. I'm willing to sacrifice him if you
sacrifice my uncle, just give Benjamin Netanyahu, and give me everything I ever wanted.
I love him so much, but I'll let him go.
But it's totally real. And then eventually they get called out to basically make a stand on something they may not necessarily agree with. Guys, the crypto market, it's a great place to get in, get out, buy, sell, make that money. And there's no better place to find out the latest crypto you want to get into than our good friends at Copy My Crypto. Let me tell you about Copy My Crypto. Listen, guys, has it pissed you off to watch crypto fly up in price for over a decade and you've still done nothing about it? Yeah, it makes sense. Crypto is complicated and really boring. But here's the good news. You don't need to know a thing about crypto or to make money like so many have. The CopyMyCrypto.com membership site shows you the exact cryptos that YouTuber James McMahon personally owns, which means you just copy him. It's like having a big brother who knows what he's doing. You don't need to know a thing about crypto or how to invest. You just simply copy along. So let me tell you about James, okay? He runs Crypto with James YouTube channel, which has like 100,000 followers on it, like subscribers. It's unbelievable. In the summer of 2020, he told his viewers to buy 26 cryptos. Had you put in $100 in each one, it went on to be worth over $123,000. Of the 26 cryptos, his top pick of the year, the one he singled out, called Phantom, went up 692 times from when he said, okay? That one call alone retired a number of people, including guys in their 20s and 30s. Remember, this is public knowledge. You can go on YouTube and verify this yourself. So if you'd like to join the over 3,000 members who copy James, then pause what you're doing and head right over to copymycrypto.com/TFH. That's copymycrypto.com/TFH. That's TFH. You'll not only find proof of everything I've said, but our viewers get full access for just $1. Okay? Yes, you've missed out on Bitcoin. That's fine. You can even get a little piece, but don't even worry about that. But there's over 2 million other cryptos. Do you really think you've missed out on all of them? Guys, don't waste any more time, okay? Go to the site and read it for yourself. Once again, that's copymycrypto.com/tinfoil hat. It's ended money worries for so many. It just may do the same for you. And we thank him for sponsoring the show. Hey guys, real quick, I want to talk to you about our good friends at Quince. A new year, colder days. This is the moment your winter wardrobe really has to deliver. If you're craving a winter reset, start with pieces truly made to last season after season. Quince brings together premium materials throughout this thoughtful designs and enduring quality, so you stay warm, look sharp, and feel your best all season long.
Quince has everything you need. Men's Mongolian cashmere sweaters. Wow. Wool coats, leather and suede outerwear that actually holds up to daily wear and still looks good. They got all that. And their outerwear is especially impressive. Think down jackets, wool coats, and even Italian leather outerwear that keeps you warm when it's actually cold out. Each piece is made from premium materials by trusted factories that meet rigorous standards for craftsmanship and ethical production. By cutting out middlemen and traditional markups, Quince delivers the same quality as luxury brands at a fraction of the price. The result is classic styles you'll love that hold up year after year.
Yeah, I mean, have you seen their cashmere sweaters? Fire! Pure fire, and guess what? Not going to break the bank. That's how amazing Quince is.
Yeah.
So here's what we need you to do. Refresh your winter wardrobe with Quince. Go to quince.com/tinfoil hat for free shipping on your order and 365-day return. Now available in Canada. You're welcome, Canada. Okay? You are in Canada too. We love it. All right? That's QUINCE.com/tinfoil hat. Free shipping and 365-day return. Quince.com/tinfoil hat. And we thank them for sponsoring the show.
Well, I think the good thing is that more and more people now are, like normal people, are aware of these cults and and this agenda, and that it's not just random entertainment, but it's being fed to them by these Satanists. Yeah. And so it's like, it's a great thing that this is happening. I mean, this information's spreading. People need to know. And, you can't be paranoid, but you got to have a little bit of paranoia. You got to make sure that you check in on who's teaching your children. One of the things that got me kind of going with this film to begin with was I met some of these people. I had some close relationships with people who told me that they were born into these families, that their parents were like kidnapping children and selling them and doing child porn and things like that. And I was, frightened, very frightened about, because they look normal. These people look normal, and they're not dressing like Elvira. And some of them do, but many of them are just like regular bankers and stuff like that. And you probably know them. They're probably people in your circle. And you have no idea, but like at 4 a.m, they're having sex with babies, and it sounds ridiculous, but it's true. And it's important that you understand the symbolism, because they have like secret symbols and secret handshakes, and some of their jewelry will have indication, or they will say things kind of waiting for you to like Freemasonic kind of things for you to know, for them to
no, you're totally
secret
right.
Language to be able to, allow people to know because they can't tell everyone. I'm
Wait, I'm sorry. Are you saying it's connected to Freemasonry or that?
Oh, absolutely.
It is.
No, it's the same thing.
AG. We're just chill. Listen,
No,
I'm
it's absolutely documented. If you go and you read Morals and Dogma, which is the book you read when you become a 33-degree Mason, Albert Pike, who's like got a statue of himself, in Washington D.C. I mean, he was the Royal Grand Master of the I think it was the Scottish Rite or something like that. Anyway, he wrote this book, and if you read the book, if you take time to read the book, it talks about how the god of Freemasonry is Lucifer, and
one of the few Confederate generals to have their statue put back up. By the way,
Isn't that crazy,
yeah, that's
dude?
correct. Yeah. So I mean, it's right there. If you choose to go and do the research, you can find out that Masonic temples are satanic temples, and there's a lot of people who are Masons. They go to the rituals, but they don't go to all the rituals because they're not 33 degree, or they're not allowed to move up through the ranks, and they're tested to see is your morality flexible. I was invited to join the Masons by some very powerful people in Hollywood, and I chose not to do it.
Yeah, we did a show, and I've said this before, but Eddie Bravo and I did a show in San Francisco, and we were taking pictures and selling merch. And this guy comes up to me with his ring, and he's just like, "We would like to invite you to the lodge. We'd like to talk to you." And we're like, "We're good, bud. We're fucking good, dude. I'm good." And it's very interesting.
Thanks, bro.
So I personalized the joke, making it seem like it comes to me, but it was a random Twitter I saw. This woman was going off on racism, and then I just wanted to see if she was a bot or something. So I go to her page on Twitter, her Twitter profile, and it says "Soldier of Satan" on it. And I go, "What? I hate to tell you, lady, but being a Satanist is worse than being a racist." We all have a racist uncle. He's kind of entertaining during the holidays. He says some crazy shit and pisses off your grandma. I could handle that. But being a Satanist, you're killing kids, you're sacrificing kids, you're worshiping Moloch and dark arts. Way worse than racist. Especially when you see every comedian of every ethnic group doing a joke about how the elders of their group, their ethnic group, are the most racist people on the planet. I mean, on the 405 right now, it's two lanes of just people being racist. I mean, everybody's racist on the 405.
I'm so sick of the racism thing. That seems like such a plant kind of argument to have.
It's just stupid.
It's like it came out of nowhere. It was like,
Obama did it.
It's so meaningless. If America was so racist, why did we vote for a black president?
Twice.
It's just ridiculous. It's not happening.
And
I've been all over this country. There's no racism that I found. I mean, not more than like passive, lame people getting upset with each other on the street, on sidewalks. But no one's like, they're not murdering black people because they hate black people. I mean, it's not happening.
I forget the name of the actress. She was Pam Grier. Is that her name, Johnny? From
Pam Grier.
Yeah, did you see her? She went on The Views. Well, she was hot.
Yeah, she was
very hot.
I forget what's his name. Royce from he's out of Florida. He's got a funny podcast, and he was talking about how Pam Grier looks like she's a voodoo priest now who sacrifices chickens. Right? It's a funny ass tweet.
I haven't seen her,
but she was talking about how like when she was young, she had to close her eyes because the black people were being lynched. She couldn't look at them. And then they realized she was born in 1946. The state she grew up in, the last recorded lynching was in 1911. So there was never. But it's like you can go on there and just say blatant stupid shit.
Yeah.
Because it just fits a narrative, and no one's going to question you because it fits the narrative.
Totally credulous. Like, oh my God.
Really? And it's that Sunny chick on there.
Oh, she's
the light-skinned Puerto Rican.
She's so dumb.
Who's still rallying against racism when her own family was slave traders.
Yeah, it's not great. That's one of the best moments on that show where they bring up your
That's the greatest show ever. Everyone in Hollywood should have to go on there and find out how their family sold slaves. Right? Yeah. You are the problem. You are the elites. Right?
It's a manufactured enemy and a manufactured problem, because the real problem are these Satanists. and they don't want the regular people to be aware of them and then band together and get rid of them, because they control the world. they're the controllers.
They're
they
the Babylonians, dude. They worship old gods and
Moloch and all of that. So it's like
Mithras.
Mithra, yeah. There's the god of the owl god, and
who had a boyfriend. Mithras had a boyfriend.
Nice.
Yeah, it's very famous. Good for him,
Was she
but
hot?
is he hot?
Was she hot?
Mithras?
Yeah,
it was a guy. Mithras is a
So
guy.
he had a boyfriend then, so he was gay.
The Baphomet is transgender, and it's got she's got tits, but it's a guy, and then also part goat and everything. I mean, this is part of their obsession, and it's like if the people really knew what was going on, I mean and that's what's great, is that they really are. I think people are more hip to what's going on now than ever before. They know about the transgender agenda, and how there's people who would do these trans investigations online where they're like, they can tell, obviously, like Big Mike, like she's got a dick, it's pretty obvious, but there's other physiological things, like it's educating the masses, like Leonardo da Vinci, besides being an amazing artist, he was really into science and physiology, and he would dissect, not in a macabre way, but cadavers, and measure things about the men and women. And men and women are different. We're not the same at all, obviously, but we have like physiological differences, like our shoulders are basically 3 of our heads next to each other, but women have narrower shoulders, so it's like a half of a head, and there's also about our head height. If it's like 9 of them makes us, but women it's like 6 or something, and there's all these different physiological traits, like our hands, like our ring finger. As a man, your ring finger is usually longer than your pointer finger.
Yeah.
But for women, it's the opposite. Their pointer finger is longer than their ring finger. It's not always the case, but it's an aggregate. So you take all of these things that are like physiological measurements of what makes a man and a woman, and they're able to be like, oh, Jennifer Aniston's a man. And like, oh, that, who knew? I mean, there's all these.
How deep do you think that is, dude? I mean, because sometimes people are like, "Oh, they're that blah 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 is a man," and I'm like, I don't know. But do you think it's that deep that a lot of them are men and they just get this super? So you brought.
I think a lot of them are gender flopped. I mean, it's I think with these families, very common, very very common.
But
because
like Jennifer Aniston, you think she's one?
I do.
You think she was a guy?
I think she was born a male, and her parents.
Shots fired.
What would you say about like a recent one I just saw was Justin Bieber? There's a lot of things.
Yeah, Justin Bieber, probably a woman.
Wow.
I mean it's interesting.
Like
there's really intelligent people out there they see photographs, they do measurements from multiple angles, and then they make these determinations. The Adam's apple. I think probably the most shocking one is the chick from Transformers.
Megan Fox.
Megan Fox, a man. And in fact, there's a video of her saying she's a man.
She's also got thumbs for,
she got weird fingers.
Toes for thumbs, yeah.
Yeah, weird fingers.
Have you ever seen, she's got like her thumbs look like toes.
Yeah.
Really weird.
Well, nobody's perfect, but
yeah.
I mean, these families, a lot of these celebrities are placed, they're plants, so they're part of. And what happens with these families is what they do is they sometimes they will sacrifice their children to these gods.
Dwayne Wade.
They'll kill their babies, and then sometimes what they'll do is they'll sacrifice the child's gender. That is a sacrifice, because that child will never never be able to procreate. And it's a celebration to Satan. It's an inversion. I've taken my boy and I've made him a woman. And I've fooled him into thinking he's a woman, and he'll never be able to be realize, God made him a man. And so I'm gonna undermine God and celebrate Satan by raising my boy as a girl. And then they've got elite ties into Hollywood, so they'll make sure that because their friends are, heads of studios or executives, or or they'll literally buy their way in. Like they're wealthy people like Glenn Campbell, whose father is like a oil billionaire, and he just funds the movies that Glenn's in, so that Glenn is now a movie star. But he's really just a rich guy. I mean, he's a decent actor.
Glenn Powell.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you said Glenn Campbell for a second.
Oh, I'm sorry, Glenn Powell.
Who's Glenn Powell? What does he look like?
He
in
was in
like
Running
Top
Man,
Gun, and like he's in Running Man. That guy. That you
Oh,
don't
that
really
guy.
Like him. Yeah.
Well, the guy that. Oh my
all
God!
of a
Really?
sudden, all of a
didn't know
sudden,
that.
he's a movie star, but he's behind the scenes. He's buying his way in.
Whoa! I did not know that. Holy
Yeah, in fact,
shit!
he admits to it in an interview, and then if you research him, his father is an oil man from Texas. So he's a
shit.
super wealthy guy. But there's a lot of wealthy people who are buying their way into stardom.
Whoa! That's
so
mind blowing.
Yeah, he put money into Top Gun. He put money into all the movies that he's in. And it's a known thing where, it's like you're a director, you've got a movie, you've got a soft green light from a studio and you need matching funds or something like that. And there's a list of billionaire actors whose families are super connected and can finance the film or do matching funds.
Of course.
And then all of a sudden you've got this, this billionaire son and it's rife in this business. I mean, it is so common, and they don't like to tell anyone because they want to be like, I was discovered and I made it.
Wow. I never knew. I mean, we always knew nepotism was big, but I didn't know they would like pay their way.
Oh, fully fine. I mean, I've had billionaires' kids come to me and want to star in my films, and it's like, it's hard to do because it's like you're looking at the budget for your movie, and then you're realizing that I'm with this guy who probably can't carry the movie, and then on top of it, will run roughshod over you. So it's like they want to change the script, they want to do this, that, and the other. They're the boss of the movie all of a sudden.
Wow, I didn't know that. You bring up something where they don't want you to know. I've said that since day one of Tinfoil Hat, which is 9 years now. I've always said that they basically use the Abrahamic religions as a mask to walk amongst us, so that we don't really know what they worship. And that's the same thing with Jeffrey Epstein, with all these like quote unquote Zionist think tanks. I mean,
well, you know about the Frankists. Do you know about the Frankists?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but go on. Tell them about it.
Okay, so I think his name was Zacharias Frankist, but there's a history of this group of people who are essentially they're like they're from Eastern Europe, and they converted en masse. Well, what they were doing is they were worshiping Satan or versions of Satan, and doing like mass orgies. It's a very, I can't remember the name of, it'll come to me, but from the Caucasus Mountains, and where the word Caucasian comes from. And they were basically marauders, people, they invade countries and loot and pillage, and they were just ruthless. And
Khazarians?
Khazarians, right, that's it. And so from Khazar, right? And so anyway, so what happened was they were ruthless. They would invade and pillage, but they were also occultists, and they were into orgies, and they were into human sacrifice, child sacrifice. They were into all this pushing the most degenerate stuff: pedophilia, incest, cannibalism, all this stuff. So they were very good at just ruthless warfare because they had no bounds, no morality. And then finally they were conquered. And, or so the myth says, but it could be true, that they were conquered and they were forced to change their religion, because it was like, you can't be fucking kids anymore. You can't be doing all this stuff,
Yep.
So then they chose to mass convert to Judaism. And so they converted to Judaism, and then they started a secret sect behind closed doors. So most of them were sort of the lower level of society was true Jews, true Judaism. So they converted to Judaism fully.
And Jews were nomads too. That was
Right.
a big thing. They were
And
nomads.
that's why they were always the reason why they were always kicked out of these countries, not because of racism, is because they were fucking the kids, and so they were doing horrible things, and so they were
These Khazarians.
But behind the closed doors, there was a secret sect within that culture that maintained the original Frankist religion, which was Satanism. And so it was these rabbis and some of these other folks that would secretly do these rituals. And you're finding that kind of stuff sometimes, like it'll come up, like the tunnels in New York and everything. And so they hide behind this whole idea of like, anti-Semitism. It's like, no, you're coming after us because you hate Jews and you're racist and everything. And it's like, it's like if you're fucking kids, I don't care what religion you are. And it's sad because for me personally, because that's my bloodline, is these Khazars, these guys. In fact, I have two rabbi, my grandfather's fathers, my grandmother and my grandfather's fathers were rabbi from New York. And so I'm not religiously Jewish, but my mother's a Jew, so the Jews consider me a Jew, and but it's and I realize that that's not, my ancestors aren't who I am. Like if your ancestors like had slaves, that's not who you are. But it's like, there's a history, and it's conveniently been, distorted. But it's not just these particular Jews. There are Catholics who behind closed doors are fucking kids and worshiping Satan. Satan is not with any one bloodline. He's with everyone who will take him in. And, it can be as organized as, the CIA.
It's very interesting to me because, on this journey on this show, I had a spiritual podcast for a while. I just got so busy I couldn't do it. But the truth of the matter is that the fact that Satan and these people worship Satan, and it's so obvious based on the symbolism they have all around them, what they wear, that to me is the greatest proof of God too. I mean, like later on, you find like God is in your children. You find all these other reasons to believe in God. But if you're looking for a concrete reason where it's so obvious, it's all these people who worship Satan. They worship dark gods. They worship fallen angels. They are the watchers. All these gargoyles, you know what those are? Watchers, dude.
Yeah.
Those are Nephilims. Those are fallen angels. That's what all those gargoyles are. Then when you see them on these old buildings. And that is proof that if they worship the evil, there must be good.
Yeah. And that's what my movie's about. And, the hero of the film is basically doesn't believe in anything. And he dates this girl who's a fortune teller, does tarot card readings, and she sort of draws him in. And he's a filmmaker. He's sort of taught that maybe his career in Hollywood will ascend, but then he finds out that they're doing horrible stuff, and that true evil does exist, and Satan does exist. And then he realizes, well, then there must be a God. If there's true evil entity that rules all evil, then there's a true entity that rules all good. And that was a process for me with this film. For me, was rediscovering God and my faith, and the one thing that I thought was really interesting, because I've interviewed a lot of Satanists for this movie and trying to figure out what their rules are and what their rituals are and their secrets and all of that. And they're all good with Buddha and Hinduism and Allah and they're into all the different gods. They're okay with this pantheon of gods, right? All the gods are cool, but they hate Jesus and they can't stand Jesus or the cross. And I think that's just really interesting because it's like that's a really interesting indicator of what is happening and what is true.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Hey guys, real quick, I'm going to tell you about our good friends at Ethos. Listen, I carry a lot of responsibility in my household, okay? If something happened to me, there are real consequences like mortgage payments, tuition, everyday bills that just don't disappear. Thinking about that used to feel overwhelming, but taking steps to protect my family financially changed that. That's why I got life insurance through Ethos, okay? Ethos makes getting life insurance fast and easy, 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. There's no medical exam. You just answer a few simple health questions. You can get up to $3 million in coverage, some policies as low as $30 a month. As of March 2025, Business Insider named Ethos the #1 no medical exam instant life insurance provider. Okay, Ethos has 4.8 out of 5 stars on Trustpilot with over 3,000 reviews. Protect your family with life insurance with Ethos now by going to ethos.com/tinfoil. In as little as 10 minutes, you can get a free quote and up to $3 million in coverage at ethos.com/tinfoil. That is ethos.com/tinfoil. ethos.com/tinfoil. Application times and rates may vary. It's very interesting. When I was very young, I got called into MTV. You know, I was this new comic and I was just wild. And I got called into MTV and I'm interviewing
in New York,
in LA.
Okay.
And I'm getting interviewed by this guy. They just wanted to figure out where if they could use me and where they could put me. Mm-hmm. And the guy basically was like, yeah, so, you know, you're gay, right? And I'm like, what? He goes, you're gay, right? And I was like, no. And I always wonder if I had said yes, what would have had happened at that moment?
Oh, you'd be on Netflix. Two specials.
Would I be? Now there's people out there. I'm not even gonna say what they do. That there's real deep rumors that they moved very quickly because they were basically giving up their ass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty common.
That they gave up their ass. They moved up very quick. I mean, I'm not even talking about the rumors around Brad Pitt, all these other guys, all these good-looking guys who blew up and became the main stars of Hollywood. I'm talking about other people on lower levels. That are
like a B class, C class.
Well, I wouldn't say they were at one time was A class to a point. You know, they were in some big movies. They weren't the leads, but they were in big movies, and you know they later went on and had like giant like psychological breakdowns and all that shit.
Yeah, that's why normal people are like, how come all these Hollywood people they kill themselves or they die mysteriously or. You know, what's going on? They have these breakdowns or they have to go to a mental institution. They come back all different and everything. And it's like, they don't realize that these people are part of the cult. And it starts off with like, will you, you know, suck the dick of, you know, the latest, Weinstein. And then it's sort of like, and then it's like, will you take it up the ass? And will you, you know, what about, going to an orgy and then have a train run on you? And then it's like animals, you know, we have sex with a goat or, you know, a horse or something like that and children and, you know, and it just gets worse and worse. And then it's like, you know, you're blackmailed and then you're allowed to join this like ultimate power circle and you get the specials and you get the film and you get the TV show and all of this kind of stuff. And all that stuff is over because, the internet is just broken open. AI filmmaking is allowing you to do films that look like you needed $1 million to make them, but actually you needed nothing. And if you know the language of cinema and you can entertain people and you can get the viewership from YouTube or from any social media or your own website, you can harness the audience that you could only do if you went through that satanic tunnel to get to the masses. If you wanted to be a storyteller, whether it's a stand-up comedian or a filmmaker, you have this desire to tell stories, and you've developed a skill set to be able to entertain people, capture people's imagination, and give them an emotional roller coaster of an experience and catharsis, and maybe learning something too, And if you have that skill, you were kind of kept at bay unless you played along. And now you don't really have to play along. You don't have to suck a Weinstein dick. You can go make your movie like I've been making my movie. I never had to join the Masonic order. I made my film. It actually criticizes them. And I'm in movie theaters playing right next to Avatar.
Yeah,
Nice.
It's interesting to me. I've been thinking about how can they control it. And I think the control will come for a brief moment will be reach. Are they going to allow you to get reach? Because we watch what they do on Instagram, who they allow to explode, who they don't allow to explode. And we've talked about before where there's like a couple things. If you do this, they'll let you explode. And you can even see it on my Instagram as well. When I post a funny meme or something that Instagram thinks will piss everybody off, they'll let it be seen. But if I'm talking about real truth and I'm getting really I'm above the target, they'll fucking shadow ban that shit to the dark realm. So that's how they're going to control who blows up and who doesn't. But what I will tell you, it won't last. Because, as we talk about with this actor whose dad's a billionaire, I could be wrong, but I don't think he resonates with anybody.
No, nobody loves that
He looks like
guy.
he should be the guy, but he's not the guy. And there's something very unorganic about him.
He's perfect for the role he did in
Top Gun.
in Top Gun, because he's an entitled, good-looking, arrogant asshole. And maybe he's not an asshole in real life, but he's entitled. And,
he has the energy of that.
And he's got that. There's a truth to his performance in that movie, and he was cast well. But in all these other roles where he's supposed to be like in The Running Man, where he's supposed to be like a working class everyman, that guy's never worked a day in his life. He doesn't know what everyman is like. And so he's not resonating with the working man. And so, it depends on how much money his dad's going to keep paying, but if his movies continue to fail, he's gone.
Yeah, I mean, but when we go back to the cinema and, it's like I like going to movies too. Whenever there's a movie that I know will be good, I'll take Godzilla. I will go watch Godzilla in the movie theaters every time because I know they're going to be good. Even when they're not good, I love them. I just love monster movies, right? So I'll go see them. But I know I'm going to have to pay $15 for parking in LA, have to pay $9 for a water, $10 for a popcorn, all that stuff. So to go to the movie theater, the incentive isn't good. The reason I think what you're doing could save movie theaters is because if they do more deals like with you, where they get half the door, because right now with a major movie, they get very little of the door, if any of it. So they have to make their money off concessions.
It's a smaller percentage, and they're not making money from concessions. I mean, one of the things that I know that is working right now is a fact, and I think if other theaters adopt this, they're going to survive, is there's a movie theater in San Jose called Pruneyard Cinemas. And I did 2 screenings there. When we filled the house, both screenings, we outdid every other movie from Hollywood. We outdid that, that time slot and that on that day. And they made, I think they made $2,000 or $3,000 in one screening from our screening. And they serve alcohol and food. And they started doing something a few months ago, about 6 months ago, that worked out really well, which is they asked their audience, what's a good older movie that you'd like to see in the theater? And so when I came there, they were showing The Seven Samurai, Akira Kurosawa's Seven Samurai. And then they had a chef, this amazing Michelin chef, do a 3-course Japanese meal with sake and it was $75 a ticket.
Make it an event.
And they sold out. And now they sell out they call it culinary cinema. They sell out every single night that they do this. And it's Mondays and Wednesdays and Thursdays. I mean, it's off nights. So normally most movie theaters during the week, they don't make no money. Yeah. And so it's only a weekend from the Hollywood, pipeline. And they're making more money now from showing Ghostbusters and older films that they curate from their audience's desire to see a film on the big screen. A lot of people have seen Star Wars at home, but they haven't seen Star Wars, the original, A New Hope, like in theaters. So there's a lot of movies that would be like, great. What about like, let's see the Rosemary's Baby or something like that.
I did one of those. I did one of those with some girl I was dating. We went to go see Ratatouille, and they had
great film.
They had movie that had you would eat whatever they would give you in the movie. It's interactive.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so whatever they would make, they would give you a little bit of it, and it was like
that's
an
fantastic.
Experience. It was a little better than just sitting there. It was like
that
$70.
Is so cool.
Yeah.
Where was
making an experience? I think vaudeville is coming back, like live comedy. Like all of these theaters are putting live comedy in there. Darren Carter just performed at the Prune Yard.
Really?
They're doing magic shows.
Where was that again, Peter? Sorry, where was it?
It's in San Jose. It's the Prune Yard Cinemas in San Jose. And
do you think this is a city's only thing? My concern is that this seems to be
no,
city.
because there's a similar kind of thing going on in rural Georgia. I did another screening at this theater. 10,000 people in this town, and they had a movie theater that had full on bar and food, and it was a little higher ticket price, but they made it special, and they were open to having me there, and I did a Q&A, and I would do a Zoom call. So then like Jay Davis, who co-produced the movie with me and was in casting, he did all the casting for the film. He would Zoom in. I have Tom Holland, who wrote and directed Child's Play and Fright Night, and he plays the villain. He's an actor too. He played a villain in my film, and he would Zoom in. So like there'd be people in like rural Georgia or nowhere Mississippi or whatever, and it would be like they would ask questions in real time to Tom Holland, like who would never come to their town. And so you make an event out of it, you make it special. I'm there as the writer, director, producer, and then I think that theaters are going to have to start curating and making like a real vaudevillian like live stage community again, instead of just being sort of passively popcorn salesmen for whatever Hollywood slop is going to come their way. They have to really communicate with their audience, and then there'll be this nice little like Chitlin road underground railroad that where like comedians and filmmakers and entertainers of all kinds will know, oh well, when I'm going through Kansas City, I'll have to stop in here and I'll do a show there, and then there's no barrier to entry at that point. There's no evil Illuminati Masonic order that's going to stop you. You're going to just get to the audience, and they're going to pay you, and they're going to be grateful and buy your merch, and then you'll be able to make a living. Maybe it's not. I won't be rich like Glenn Powell, but like maybe I can just like make sure that my rent is paid.
Well, no, there's a will, there's a way, dude, and it's like the independent contractor of comedy. That's working left and right. I make more money outside the comedy clubs than I make in the comedy clubs. Like I do one night, I make about as much as I can make in a whole weekend at a comedy club. Because a lot of the comedy clubs are running on the old way of
where are you booking, Sam? Where is it working for you the most?
I mean, like obviously red states tend to do a little better, but like Tinfoil Hat did really well in San Francisco when we were going up there all the time. We don't work with the booking agency that we did before, but we were doing really well in San Francisco. We haven't been back there in years. It'd be fun to go back there. But it's like, like I just signed up with this new booking agency, and I'm like, dude, I'll go do a brewery. I don't give a shit. I'll do a rock club. I'll make more money. Because There's this one comedy club. I'm not going to say the city because you'll know what I'm talking about. But when you would go into this comedy club and they would tell you they give you, if you sell so many tickets, they'll give you a bump. And it's not a big bump. They're like, we'll give you $500 more. I'm like, that's not a lot of money. What are we talking about here? But they would tell you that on Saturday early show, they don't count that towards your totals. Which I go, that's really crazy because there's a line out the door of people wanting to take pictures with me.
All right, well, just tell all your listeners, hey, don't come to the Saturday early show.
Let's but that's when everybody wants to go to a show.
Yeah.
So you're punishing them, making them go to a late show when they're tired, when they want to come see you. Yeah, it's just greed.
What a scam.
It's just greed. And that's why if you're not Gabriel Iglesias selling out everywhere you're going, and you're not just a complete unknown, but you got that middle where you do have a following. If you can sell 100 tickets in any market, go do it yourself.
Speaking of the exhibitors, I know like during the pandemic, we lost probably the one that added the most value to screenings here. That was Pacific Theaters. You know, they would did you go to the ArcLight or like Cinerama Dome?
Always.
Yeah. They treated the experience with some reverence, and they had someone come out and present the film. And
it was great.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It was
great.
And we lost them, and we still. I mean, I hope
it'll come back. It'll come back.
They just got their alcohol license at Cinerama Dome. I'm curious though, what you think of the company that has gobbled up a lot of their properties, and that seems to be kind of the other than Regal and a few others, the sole survivor of this AMC. What do you think? What do you think of AMC and their future?
I really like the CEO of AMC. I think he's a cool guy.
Yeah.
I don't know what is in store, but I think they did something smart, which is they started to finance projects. I think the theater, no matter what happens, theaters aren't going anywhere. They just have to be run, I think, differently.
I hope you're right, desperately. I keep hearing from people.
There's too many people who love. They love getting out. Actually, the largest amount of the demo that is the largest that go to the movies are like the Z generation.
They're zigging when the millennials zag.
Aren't you always telling me though, Sam? Like, who wants to go to the movies anymore? Like, isn't that?
Well, no, because I'm telling you, because they have all these expensive things.
Yeah.
But people want to go to the movies. There's no experience of I don't care how big your TV is, and I have a giant TV. It's still not the movie.
I
theater.
completely agree. I hear from people like, "Why? I got a big TV. Why do I want to go to the theater?"
Well, because I want to be with people. And that's the thing. It's like, it's not just the movie. It's the group experience. Like you're having a group dream with strangers, and there's a community to it. You laugh with a bunch of people, you're crying with a bunch of people, you feel exhilarated with a bunch of people. That's why you go. Half the reason is to be with those people. Now, there's some people who don't like people, and fine, stay at home. But I like to, it's not fun going on a roller coaster alone or just with one person. It's fun. It's fun to go on a roller coaster with 50 people, 100 people.
And it sounds weird.
You want to experience things together.
And it sounds weird, but you actually pay attention. I've tried to watch movies at my house on my big screen, and I still end up on my phone.
Yeah. That's right. It forces you to put your phone away. And the ritual of it is fantastic, because basically you go to it. It's going to start at 7 with or without you. So you better get your butt in the seat, and the good seat, before someone else gets it. So there's this idea of surrendering to this big storytelling machine that's going to give you a ride, and it's going to start at this point and it's going to end at this point. And if you go to the bathroom or you want to go get some popcorn, you're going to miss part of it. And so the idea of the reverence of this movie that's bigger than you, and that's going to, the train has left the station, whether you're there or not, there's something really valuable about that. And when you're watching it on your phone, or when you can pause it and take a shit, or you can take a shit and watch it. Like, I made a movie that I really care about. I'd rather not people shitting while I watch it. So, and then receiving 15 text messages in the middle of it all. Like, my film has a lot of layers to it, and a lot of subtlety. And if you take a break to respond to an email, or you text someone real quick, you will miss an important nuance that will, the movie is like you're trying to figure out a puzzle. Like, what exactly is going on? Who are these people? What are they doing exactly? And so it takes a kind of, it's an old fashioned storytelling that assumes you are actually sitting and watching it without getting up and changing the channel every 5 seconds. So the movie theater experience is really valuable for that kind of storytelling. And Netflix is so atrocious that they need to explain things 15 times, because they know that you're you're simultaneously filleting fish while you're so it's just it's like nothing against that. It's like, fine, that's cool too, but I want a religious kind of experience. I want a fully immersive. I want to break from my life too. Movies are an escape.
Yes.
And it's wonderful to be able to just have that experience of just absolutely leaving. Like, if I can sit there for 2 hours and not once think about a bill that's owed, or I got to return a call, or about some, my back hurts or something, it's like I'm just completely in this other person's world. And it's a great drug in a way.
It does take away the magic when you're constantly checking out and you're not lost in the storytelling. Yeah. I want to ask you, so, we all live in LA right now. It's going through something. COVID did a lot of damage to Los Angeles. And one thing it did was it chased out all the outlaws. All the outlaws saw what was going on. They didn't want
There's a lot of, I hear what you're saying. There's a lot of outlaws still coming to LA. I met this kid the other day. He's showing his film called Brain Bugs at Look Cinemas in Glendale later this month. But it's a little independent film he made. He moved here from Sacramento, and he's a total film geek, loves film. He's in his 20s. And when he moved to LA, which is, I think he moved here like a year ago, like, why are you moving to LA while the whole industry is like completely collapsing? Like, what do you expect to get? And his answer was really encouraging, and it made me like realize something that's happening in LA right now, which is something like a rebirth, which is that in the past, in the last 100 years, people would come, if you were a good filmmaker or a good actor, or you thought you were, if you were an artist and wanted to be in entertainment, you'd move to LA, and your goal was to be discovered. Hopefully, someone would give you a big break, and then you'd end up in the big Hollywood machine, and then you'd be in the movies. You'd be up on that screen or on television or something like that. But it was all about being discovered by a big machine. And his answer to me was he wanted to collaborate with other people who are also like him, like young, creative people. And, they can make something together for no money, and they can put it out to the universe for no money, like distribution, and they can even market it with paid ads on TikTok or wherever. So like none of the sort of legacy the machinery of like agents and executives and even rental houses and then marketing and distribution and all that stuff that was the sort of relic, the dead relic that is of Hollywood now, is like there's still people, young people, creative people coming to LA, but they're not here to break in. They don't need to break in. They're already in. They just want to collaborate with cool people. And like I made this movie, The Occult, for almost no money. But because it was because I'm in LA, there's a huge amount of fantastic acting and stand-up comedians and actors and cinematographers and sound guys, all the people that it takes to make a movie. If they're willing to do it for nothing or little to nothing, I mean, you're going to have a movie that's really high quality.
Yeah.
Because it's about the collaboration.
I'm with you on that.
So it's like the new Hollywood is about all of us coming together and making stuff without a green light from
which I think
from Weinstein. No blowjob necessary.
Yeah, which is very important unless you love giving blowjobs. But what I'm talking about again is we've had over the last 15 years, I think before even during COVID, this kind of woke infection that became a religion in Hollywood, and everybody that wanted to worship that altar moved here. And and we're talking like 1 or 2 decades of that. And so what I think is happening in Hollywood, and let me just say this, is that the top, the executives know nobody wants to watch this shit. And the people who consume it don't want to watch that shit. But the people in the middle have done so much worshiping and conformity that they're stuck in that. And what has to happen, and I think this could be a controlled demolition, is they have to kind of kill it off a little bit and let it reorganize in a new kind of way, which is what we're talking about here, which is getting rid of all the shit in the middle where you have all these people that worship a dying altar of wokeness and feelings and like, let's not upset the herd, okay? Because people could get upset, and that's mean. Get rid of all them, and just go buyer seller. And people like you who are creating these great projects can go right to them and either look for funding or produce it yourself, and then take it to take it to the people who are buying, and then they
that's happening right now. It's happening in real time.
What do you think of Legion M like that, where the investment model like Legion M and
I think it can work out. I haven't seen anything that's actually come from that yet.
Yeah.
But but I think it's. I mean, look, you can do things now that you don't need to raise money, and that's the thing that's the crazy thing now. It's like you used to have to raise a ton of money to make a movie. So you'd have all these different ways creative ways to like crowdfund and things like that. But, to me, even that is like a huge drain on like resources and time and everything. I don't need money. I don't need to raise money. I mean, that's the thing is I can just go make something without, especially I've been playing around with AI. I can do things with AI that look like $1 million that cost me nothing on my iPhone. I can do in a couple days.
You can do now the effects. It's unbelievable. It used to take so much computer processing power and someone with real. It
happened overnight.
Yeah, overnight.
Yeah, I mean, I've been getting thousands of views now over the last week. I did a Robotech live action adaptation. Did a My Neighbor Totoro. I've been doing these anime. I did Evangelion. If you go to my YouTube page,
what is it? What's your YouTube page?
Just my name.
Let's watch
Peter Hyoguchi.
XG spell your last name. Let's see.
I already have it right here.
Hyoguchi, and I'm getting like on all the platforms like thousands and thousands of views and all these compliments. People are so excited, and I'm making this on my phone with my AI. It's like. I didn't have to raise $1, and I'm already, entertaining thousands of people online, and it will lead to a job. It'll lead to money at some point, but like I'm not doing it for money. I mean, it's like the same desire to be a stand-up comic. It's like you have to get on stage. You have to do it. You have to have that microphone. And it's like, I have to make movies, and the pain of movies. I mean, I've always admired stand-up comedians because we're in the same profession. We're storytellers, and we need to entertain. And there's Evangelion. So, check it out. The entire thing made on my iPhone, with AI, Grok.
You put a bunch of Asians in?
Well, it's based on Japanese anime. But
shit.
That's all AI. I never filmed any of that. Those are actors that I directed, using fake people. Those people don't exist.
Avatar was a lot of AI, right? The new Avatar that's coming out.
No, they didn't use any AI.
No?
No, he's way against that. Yeah, he wouldn't do that.
Hey, he's old school.
And people don't even know. They don't even know what AI is. They just are afraid. Hollywood's afraid of it because it's like, it's like, no, you need to go through our system in order to make a movie. You need to bow down to us, And
as soon as they need to make a budget and it will help them to use it, they'll do it. It'll be.
As soon as you need millions of dollars, you need to bow down and suck a dick, And it's like, but I have this burning desire to tell stories and do them cinematically, and I want to tell stories that have spaceships and futuristic technology and fantasy, sci-fi, action, horror. Like I love those kind of movies, but they do cost a lot of money to make. But if you can see right there, I mean, it looks just like a Hollywood movie. And I had every tool as if I had the budget for Steven Spielberg. I had every tool that I wanted. Any image I wanted, I could create. And so as a low budget filmmaker, you're like, well, it could have been better if I had more money or whatever. And it's like, no, this is actually what was in here on the screen, exactly how I wanted, with no concession. It's just, and then whether that's good or not, that the audience will have to decide. Well, but no machine is holding me back.
I also think eventually you'll see a lot of AI, and then there'll be a demand for human actors and human films.
I would prefer to work with humans any day of the week. I'm just these are like experiments.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do AI. My next movie is gonna be AI, but with actors. Well, but actors are always gonna be better. The screenwriting is always gonna be better as a human. These are just tools. I still need collaborators, but if I want to create a cinematic image, I don't need to close down a street and rent, Hollywood Boulevard or
Let's
whatever.
talk about your movie for a second. So tell us a little bit more about it and what the story is and why people should come and see it.
Well, people love the film. I mean, that's the thing. I wouldn't have done 100 screenings and toured all over the country if it wasn't because people like the film. I mean, I think any filmmaker who books their own theater will know, you book a movie, you advertise the movie. Is anyone going to show up? Like I would, there were times where I would fill 2 auditoriums in a multiplex. So I had 75 people in one theater and then another 75 theater seats filled, playing the movie for 2 audiences at the same time. And so people like the trailer. People are intrigued with the subject matter, the occult, and just this story. I think it's a love story. Something about it is working with audiences. And that's what kind of motivates me to continue to book the movie and to advertise the film. And it's because it works. People come and they love the film, and they love it in Iowa, and they love it in Georgia, and they love it in Northern California and Texas and Florida. I mean, everywhere I've gone, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, they love the film. And it's the same kind of people come out. It's like a mix of people, but they love cinema and they love this type of storytelling. And so, the story is about a young filmmaker in LA, not unlike myself, who is doing a YouTube show with his friends called the Pranksters. And they set up hidden cameras and they pranked the public. And so movie opens up with a fake tarot card station, that little booth, on a busy LA street. And they're doing free readings, sign that says free tarot card readings. And so, but what they're doing is they've got a van, and they've got editors in there, and all these cameras are filming everything, and they're doing facial recognition and then looking them up on Facebook and finding out about them. And then he's got a secret hidden earpiece where he's faking being psychic. So he can go, oh, you've got a dog named Pookie, and you're from Omaha and everything. And so, and so they've got a popular YouTube channel. They got a funny kind of hook, kind of clever show that they do. But anyway, this hot girl, it notices what they're doing, and she goes, "Can I read you?" And so she takes the cards and like flips the table and starts to read his future and his past, and she seems to know everything about him. And so our hero is intrigued. How did she know all this stuff? And is it pranking the pranksters? And so he starts dating her, and he's, she's beautiful and interesting and intriguing, and she's got this secret knowledge of this wisdom of the occult. And she goes to this like sort of new age church, like way up in the Topanga Canyon. And he starts to, go there with her. And this sort of like priest is played by Tom Holland, who wrote and directed Child's Play and Fright Night and The Langoliers and a lot of other great horror films.
I love the horror legend. I love the Langoliers.
He's a fantastic director. He also wrote Psycho 2, and he wrote Cloak and Dagger with Dabney Coleman and Henry Thomas. And it's a great filmmaker and a great friend and mentor. But he played the villain, and so anyway, he gets sort of sucked into the world of the occult, and then he discovers they're having ceremonies like at nighttime, that he's not invited to yet. And he starts to realize that he's like inadvertently joined a satanic order. And, but now he's in too deep. And so, but he's got a secret hidden camera show that he does. So he decides he's going to put secret hidden cameras in the church to find out like what is really going on.
Oh my God. So
that's the film. And you can check out the trailer at theoccultmovie.com. And that gives you an idea.
I have what if they want to watch the movie, you're not going to go to their city and tour? Is there any time they can catch this later? Is this...
And the movie is not available online, and it won't be for years. So I'm going to be touring for it for years. So if you catch a screening, you get to see it.
I like
that. But a lot of people will call me up and say, "Oh, come to my town," and I've got a theater here, and then I will go. So wherever it is, if there's an audience that's interested, I'm going to be doing Sacramento next, probably in the spring. I'm talking to the Crest Theater there. it's a beautiful theater. It's got this marquee. It's great. It's like downtown Sacramento. It's got 600 seats. That'll be a screening in the spring. And then I'll probably do a bunch of screenings in Sacramento while I'm there in different theaters. So probably like maybe a month or two of screenings in Sacramento. That's like sort of the next plan, but I'm negotiating with theaters right there.
So you leave it in the theater for a while?
Well, what I'll do is I'll do a screening, or I'll do like a few nights, and then what'll happen is I'll get held over. So a lot of times I'll be held over for like a week. I've been held over for 2 weeks. So like during Halloween, I had 6 theaters in 2 in Northern California, 3 in Northern California, and then I had 1 in Minnesota, 1 in Florida. And so I had 6 movie theaters playing the movie simultaneously for 2 weeks.
Nice.
And multiple times a day. That was like the most that had been screened at the same time. And that was great. And so my last screening was last month. I screened at the Lemley in Santa Clarita at the Santa Clarita International Film Festival. And then I had a screening in Glendale a couple months before that. I did 2 screenings in Glendale at Look Cinemas, and I'll probably do more, with Look Cinemas. There's a couple, I think, Monrovia. I think they've got one. Anyway, we'll see. I'm working on. I direct commercials, so I'm directing a commercial next week in San Jose for that theater, for the theater I was telling about, Prune Yard Cinemas. Incredible theater, and I'm really honored to have. That they asked me to do their commercial.
So, is your next film going to be in that theme, or are you gonna pick another theme to talk about?
I don't know. It's like a lot of times, it's like someone comes to me and says, "I want." I've had a lot of directing jobs where people just come to me and go, "Hey, we want you to direct this movie or this television pilot." So sometimes it's like sort of out of the blue, and sometimes it's something that I'm working on. I've written a bunch of scripts. Right now, I'm really excited about adapting anime into live action. So I'm working on an Akira live action right now. That'll be in the next week. I'll launch that on YouTube, but so far I've got Evangelion and My Neighbor Totoro and Robotech. And any one of those would make a great live action feature film. So that I love sci-fi action anime. So we'll see if that happens. But someone's got to make Akira. I mean, that is an incredible film, and it's never been done in live action. And so I'm just doing it. I'm not going to make any money from it, but it's just great exercise, and I feel compelled to do it. So. My next feature might be something like that. It'll no matter what, it'll involve AI. But I'll shoot with real actors. I'm just going to probably all the locations will be AI.
As we'll end it on this. You've lived in California for how long?
I was actually born in Hollywood. My mom was an animator. She did Scooby-Doo and the Flintstones, and we lived right behind we had a house right behind the Directors Guild, right behind Chipotle, which used to be All American Burger.
Wait, like on Hayworth there?
No, it was
the DGA building.
The DGA on Sunset.
Yeah, like it's Sunset and Hayworth, right? I used to live like right behind there too.
Yeah,
yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, so that's
I lived on
my
Hayworth
neighborhood
for a while.
Yeah, it's right up. You know where the
10
DGA
years
building, right?
I lived
They
there.
still have all those screenings there.
Those are good years.
It's a great neighborhood. Like my mom would take the stroller and stroll me over to Harmony Gold to watch like pilots and things like that. They would show like television pilots to audiences for testing and feature films and so I was born in LA. We did move. We moved to Marin County and Santa Barbara, and so I've been back and forth. But mostly LA has been my home. I've been during COVID. I moved to Austin, Texas, and I've been there for 5 years. And so I just couldn't take the way LA was dealing with that situation. So
I wanted to get out, but I have a baby's mama that won't let me go. But my question to you right now is, we have this mayor
Karen Bass.
Yeah, and we have an election coming out. Everybody's loving Spencer Pratt. He's been really at the forefront of what happened with the fires. We have Gavin Newsom going out for the first time forever. Two Republicans are leading the governor's race. Do you have any hope for politics changing in California? Because I just feel like it's been ran into the ground. I mean, what they did to San Francisco, regardless of what your ideologies are, there's no one that can sit there and say that San Francisco is better since Gavin Newsom was mayor and governor. There's no way you can say that was a world-class city. The wharf is closed down.
Absolutely.
So do you have any hope for change?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I think people are starting to realize, and I'm not a political person. I don't like to even vote, but I love this town, and this is my hometown, and there's a lot of great things about LA, and of course, there's a lot of bad things, like all the Satanists. What's that line in Lost Boys? That last line in Lost Boys. It'd be so great if it weren't for all these fucking vampires.
Yes,
The vampires, I could do without them. But it's, to me, the most encouraging thing is to see these studios falling.
You're so good.
Are you there?
Yeah.
To see Hollywood crumbling, the mechanism that, I love Hollywood movies, and I love Hollywood, and I love the art of filmmaking, but the studio system, the corrupt studio system, to see it totally crumble, and to see all these people who've been sort of like kissing its ass the whole time and willing to sacrifice their morality to get in the room, to be, just to cozy up to Satanists and evil people. It's like, to see that go away and to see that power structure just completely fall apart is like, it's so encouraging and so exciting. And that leads us into the political realm as well. And these people are the worst, and we don't even know the worst, behind the scenes, most likely they're diddling children and fucking goats and stuff like that. And so, like, to see them lose and leave, and ultimately I think politics is not as important as the people. There are a lot of laws that are on the books that are just like totally ignored by everybody. So it's not necessarily about changing laws, because there are real laws that are completely ignored by the people, by judges, by police people. There's all kinds of things that people just decide, we're not doing that anymore. And it's pretty obvious that the way the fires were handled were at best idiotic, and at worst controlled demolition, just like 9/11. And so, I used to be on Facebook. It used to be these like big flame wars. If you said anything controversial, you get all your friends would like dump on you, and then these huge arguments.
Is weird, dude. It's the weirdest out of all the social medias.
But that's not happening anywhere near and maybe I just weeded out everybody I needed to weed out. But that kind of stuff, like the people would be like, but Snopes says this. And it's like, I think that the people who like are sort of the mainstream kind of normie people who are sort of, who are clinging to like mainstream CNN kind of reality matrix, they're kind of having to concede, they're finally having to be like, oh, maybe all this stuff we've been told is complete horseshit. And the people who are still watching, MSNBC and still believing all that garbage, it's like they're fewer and far between, I think, than there ever was before. I mean, I think CNN's ratings show that, that this podcast here is probably more popular than any show on CNN. So it's like the tide has turned, and, it's nice to see things in LA be less nutball. I mean, there's far fewer of the nutballs, and they're still around, but it's like, I think a lot of that stuff is like, we can join the club if we only just like embrace, tranny culture or something like that, and it's like, you're just insane. These people are just crazy.
Yeah. It's suicidal empathy. They actually vote against their own best interest. They'll get mugged at a gas station pumping $7 gas, and they'll be like, but we can't let the Republicans in. And listen, I don't think the Republicans are anything that's going to save us either. But it's like, we just need somebody different than who.
That's why Trump won. People are just so sick of, because Trump's not a Republican. It's like they're just sick of the system. They don't realize it completely that it's Satanism, but I think most people don't know that. But that's really what's going on.
Yep,
you can just sense it about people. It's like you're fucking kids in the background. I can sense it. You know?
I can tell. I can read them too. They have a weird skin to them. They have this weird skin. It's like cheese-ish, and it's like that patchy. I know
Gavin Newsom. It's like that guy's doing some weird, gross shit.
And just because he's so pretty that the girls just keep voting for him, and it's just like, and it's so funny because. Like, if you watch right now, is there any discussion on abortion? Nothing. There's no abortion discussion. And then when the next presidential election comes up, they crank up the abortion talk. And then that's all that people care about. And they get manipulated every time.
What's fascinating, though, Sam, is that the abortion thing is the crux of Satanism because it's about child sacrifice. And so the whole, if people really knew, Margaret, what is her name? Stanger, the founder of Planned Parenthood, and that place is a corporatized Moloch baby killing machine, and it's like cloaked in this whole modern moralism about rights for women, and it has everything to do with murdering babies. And it's a corporate, it's this most disgusting version of Satanism because it's like cloaked in moralism, and it's just disgusting.
And the psychological war on women. I've never seen women talk as much about how much they hate kids and babies and pregnancy ever in my life. I've never seen that. And now you got guys that don't want to have sex, and you want women who don't want to have children. Like, dude, 20 years ago, that'd be unheard of. 30 years ago, unheard of. Now that's the narrative, dude. The narrative is guys don't want to bang chicks because of the Me Too movement, and they can just get off on the internet. And now girls don't want to get pregnant. You hear girls going, I'm not a baby making machine. I'm like, you literally have a period every month because you're a baby.
You are a baby making machine.
Yeah.
You're literally a baby making machine. That's why you bleed once a month. I mean,
it's pretty simple. Like we talked about in the beginning, it's just either you're up with people or you're down with people. And that's as simple as that.
I agree, buddy.
More people or no people, and it's like, I'm with the more people. I'm down with the people.
Well, it's also that like, you have a bunch of people who have decided not to have children voting on policies that completely fuck the future generations. So it's like, okay, you're voting for yourself. I mean, it's just pure narcissism, dude. It's pure narcissism, not wanting to have children. And it's like, if you look, unfortunately, who's not having kids, it tends to be the more intelligent. I'm not saying they're smart. I think there's a difference between intelligence and smart.
It's that scene from Idiocracy, dude. It is. It really is. You got Bubba just humping, relentlessly humping every woman in sight, and then the couple's like, well, we're just waiting to get our.
Well, I think Bubba's probably smarter because the people who have PhDs. Those people aren't smart. They memorizing and spitting out knowledge that you haven't even corroborated as real is an idiot. And these people have these like those little like hats. Those are dunce caps. Because
and there's
it's
a black cube. You ever know they're black?
Exactly. The Saturn worship. But these people are to get a PhD, you have to memorize and spit out, memorize and spit out, memorize and spit out. And memorizing things that aren't true, memorizing lies, and then perpetuating those lies without even looking into it, as Eddie Bravo would like to say, means you are just a high functioning retard. And so if you can't figure out stuff for yourself, and if you don't have the balls to look at mainstream lies and say, I'm not going to go with it, I'm not believing it, even though big institution and big marble building with pillars says this way, but it doesn't make sense. I'm going to stand my ground and say that's bullshit. That is intelligence.
Yeah, but it's not intelligence.
Brain.
Spreading
so these people who have graduated from Berkeley and they don't want to have kids. Okay. Maybe you shouldn't have kids because you're an idiot.
Yeah, but the people we're talking about who are spreading their seed are people who like fathers who don't intend to take care of any of their kids. You know what I mean? And they're just
Maybe.
Yeah,
I mean,
obviously there's an ideology. There's an idealistic way of doing it.
just
of course,
just because
but
you didn't get a degree,
not having
and
kids.
no, nobody's
But,
saying that.
you know,
I mean, that I guess
Bubba knows how to fix a car. You know, it's like I think Bubba's okay. You know,
not
you know,
the
he's
not the Bubba I
got
know.
no college degree, but he, you know, and he's going to take care of his kids.
the guy I'm thinking of,
And he goes
who
to
I
church
know-
on
I
Sunday.
think if you don't take care of your kids, you're just as bad as the people that don't have kids.
The guy I know and have in my mind right now is in and out of jail and has like 9 kids.
Yeah,
So,
he's a
yeah,
retard.
yeah. And
Anyways, Peter, great show. Love it. One more time, tell them where they can find you.
Yeah, the go to theoccultmovie.com. You can check it out, or you can follow me on the social media stuff.
What are up there? Are there clips from the movie there that they can see?
Yeah, there's like hundreds of them. If you go to theoccultmovie.com, you can watch the trailer, but you can also watch. I've documented my entire trip across the country, so it's all there. There's like dozens and dozens. I think there's like 80 videos of like me traveling and, you know, from town to town and interviewing people about what they thought of the film and stuff like that.
where'd you shoot?
Where did I shoot
the
what?
The film. Where was it shot?
Oh, it was shot in Highland Park and Hollywood and
in LA.
Burbank
Okay.
and
All right, cool.
all LA. Yeah.
All right, buddy. This has been great. Thank you. I'm glad we finally made
Thanks
it
for having me on. This is really fun.
buddy. Anytime. Next
Keep
time
it
you got-
going.
Next time you got another film coming out, let us know. We'd love to have you back on, and we appreciate you, buddy. Good to see you again.
Thanks, Sam. Good to see you. Good to meet you guys.
All right, guys,
course.
let's break down the episode. All right, what'd you guys think of Peter Japanese? We're all just trying to fight to say his last name. Let's honor his ancestry.
He made me want to go to the movies.
Dude, his family was samurais and Khazarians. It was like such a two completely different honors, you know. But hey, man, it's good to know who you are.
Yeah, if we ever need to rape a village or something, we know who to call.
The samurais were gay, so I don't even know how they had kids.
Like gay or bi?
Oh, they probably bi.
Bi. I think they were more bi.
Or they
because
were
they're
just horny.
It's like the equivalent of the army, right? You got.
I think most gay guys are just super horny dudes.
Well, that's
Or
why
just, or just like, I just got to stick this in a hole. I don't care what.
Is that how you rationalize it?
Yeah, that's what I've convinced myself. I'm not gay. I'm just super horny.
I just love puss so much that I have to.
Is that a hole? Let me stick it in. I'll stick it in a hole. I don't
can't-
care what's in there.
I can't wait for the next woman to come along, so I'm gonna take your ass. Boy.
Just be cool. Just be cool. Dude, that was a shockingly great episode. I thought it was going to be
did it
good.
shock you?
Well, because I didn't realize how in depth he was going to go. He went pretty deep.
He's optimistic about the future of cinema too, in a way that I'm not necessarily. I really hope he's right.
Well, I understand what he's saying. Like, you know, if something is collapsing, there's an opportunity. You know, there's opportunity.
Yeah, but how many people he said himself that he's the only one at CinemaCon to do, trying.
Well,
to do
because
that
it
thing.
mmy be brand new. I guarantee you, next one there'll be more people there.
I hope so.
Because there has to be. Because if not, CinemaCon will go away. They're failing miserably, Hollywood. Like, it's to the point where you go, why would you make woke Star Trek? Like, who are you entertaining?
Well, it's also woke Star Trek for kids. It's like a young adult like content. It's it's like Dawson's Creek of Star Trek, which is just like I'm the audience for Star Trek.
Yeah, it's just
Do you think I
stupid.
want that? I don't want to see that.
But who greenlights that?
Oh yeah, CBS, dude. It's like
Yeah, but who is going? Okay,
Paramount.
okay, lesbians, gays, and bis in space.
Yeah,
sounds great. Let's go.
Kathleen Kennedy
But
make her
let's
way over to
face it,
Star Trek.
If
now?
we just keep going down the path we are, they're all going to be bisexuals and lesbians and trans on the Star Trek Enterprise. This may be actually more accurate than the original Star Trek.
Yeah, the funny thing is, like, if you go back to original Star Trek, and like Starfleet is kind of like the Navy, like you got to be fit. You're like exploring the cosmos, and if you look at this cast, it's just a bunch of fat black lesbians.
chunkers.
Yeah, it really is.
Man, Hollywood loves old black women beating people up.
Yeah, it's not even
Every
just old,
show
it's
is
young,
like,
too.
I'm 60, let me beat the shit out of all these people.
Yeah, that was that Nobody movie too. The plot of that, like, but we were supposed to believe a 65-year-old comedian, is just beating the shit out of everybody.
It's just with the worst toupee I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Like your hair should move.
I like him a lot, but
No, he's
like,
great. Bob Odenkirk is
and
great.
the movies are good,
But it's like,
not
no,
believable.
it's like you just want us to believe something retarded.
Yeah, it's so dumb. Everything about Hollywood. Is
I mean,
dumb.
there's movie magic, but it can only go so far.
What's interesting is that Hollywood, the model used to be, because I was interested in why like a town like the town I grew up in, which is very small,
Very
had
gay.
a theater in the old days. I had a movie theater back in the old days, and because that technology is really expensive back then, especially, and as it is now. Like I remember the other theater in the neighboring town almost went out of business. They had to do like local fundraising because to go digital and to continue to get the movies, because they wouldn't send them out in film anymore. It was $100,000 a projector to get for this small, like they can't afford that. But it used to be that the movie theaters, it was what they call it, a vertical integration, so that the movie theaters own the theaters. So that they just whatever they had, you had to show it. You had no independence in your projection, and that got trust busted because the government was like, that's not legal, and they busted it up, and then all these theaters got wiped away because none of them could afford to
Integrate.
Yeah, to hire projectionists and keep up because the margins were so fine, that they could afford to do it if it was this big nationwide project. But once it got busted up, you lost all those. So if you see in towns now, you'll like if you go into an old downtown, you'll see a storefront that used to obviously be a movie theater, and now they're just wiped off the board because of the way, and also people just moving away from downtowns. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting, and now we're kind of. Like, I think we're going to see again where you're going to have to be willing to drive. I really think we're losing even more of these small theaters. I just can't see people keeping them alive,
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely interesting.
What do
The
you
movie
think? I mean,
theater
do you
in my hometown is crap, and it's never been updated ever.
Yeah, and who wants to go see a shitty projector?
Yeah,
and
it's
all
a
that?
shitty projection. They opened up, so they used to have 2 big ones, and then they just tried to make 4 smaller ones, and it just ruins the
To
experience.
get more movies. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah.
But again, it's like he's like, okay, we went from 31 in a month down to 9, but what are those 9 too? It's like you're not trying to get us to the movie theater because Hollywood's whole thing is like, no, you like this, and it's very interesting because you kind of apply that to dating now, and women are trying to tell men what they can and cannot like. You can't you can't ask us our age, you can't ask us our weight, and you can't ask us our body count.
But we can have in our profile no guys under 5'7".
Yeah, right? 100%. And so for the longest time, and I think this has been the rule, is that women make the rules of society. But it's gotten so out of control that I think men are going to start stepping in. I think men are going to be like, nope, that's not how it's going to work anymore. You see that with divorce laws are changing, custody laws are changing. Even the Me Too movement did so much damage to women. Men don't want to work with women anymore because these chicks are like, I'll just get a lawsuit and make a bunch of cash and get the fuck out. Those days are done. Like women are talking about guys don't want to work with them on projects. Guys don't talk to them at the office. I mean, it's just crazy to me, dude. It's just crazy.
Yeah, I totally agree.
It's just like I think guys are done with it, and it's like I can't. Women have an inability, and ladies, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the cult of feminism. Okay, I know if you listen to the show, you get it. I never think I'm talking about you. Women internalize everything. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the cult of feminism and those who worship at that altar. Okay? They have an inability to keep a secret. Like, you watch what women admit to in these fucking man on the street videos. Like, this cute blonde chick was like, what was the shadiest shit you've ever done? She's like, I lied about being pregnant to get money for an abortion. And he's like, when did you do that? She goes, last week. Did you see that chick in Jersey had like 30 guys, she said, got her pregnant and just kept all the money?
I do wonder how many.
I mean,
of those are real.
it's really easy. I've thought about it. Some girl says she's not on the pill. You bust in her. She says, "Hey, you gonna pay for the pill for Plan B?" You give her $50. She made $50, and all she did, she's already on the pill. You just don't fucking know, and you're like,
Maybe don't fuck chicks that would do that. That's a start.
But you
How do
don't
you
know.
know
How
that,
do you
Johnny?
know?
What do you give them a
Well,
questionnaire?
maybe you get to know them a little bit before you go
it's called
blasting
a
in
one-night
there.
stand.
Use
Yeah,
a condom.
Johnny.
Use a condom
Johnny,
if you don't know the
it's
person.
Wild West out there, buddy.
You're making a mistake if you
Okay,
blast.
town sheriff.
No,
Okay, we're outlaws.
You're making it if you blasting somebody without a condom that you don't know at all. That's a big mistake from the start.
Yeah, and the society is built on that. So
No, it's
that's
not.
how it. Yeah,
No, it's not.
A lot of it.
Did you tell girls today you're gonna wear a condom? They give you a face. You think I have an
saw-
STD? They feel offended because you tell them like, "Hey, I'm gonna put a
Did
condom
we have her
on."
on
It's
as
against
a
your
guest?
religion, by the way, Sam. Your new religion,
What religion is that? Johnny?
Christianity.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
He's trying.
I'm not
Adultery.
perfect. You're right, Johnny. I'm joking. These are jokes. Don't gotta get queenie, okay?
I'm not getting Queenie.
Was
That's
it on?
you.
Was it?
your-
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh,
Your
yeah.
hang-ups are making
Topher
you-
Gardner was talking about. If a chick asks you to wear a condom, means you're a bitch.
Yeah, she don't want you to bust in her.
Yeah,
She's not willing to.
because you're a bitch.
No.
You got condoms? I ain't no bitch.
Yeah, well, that's the situation where you'd want to not use one. But if they don't,
Be like,
mention
wrap it up, put
Yeah.
your clothes on, get the fuck out of here.
But if they
You don't want me
mention
nutting
it,
in you? Get the fuck out. You don't want my nectar of life? Get the fuck out.
but isn't the opposite also true? If they're like, please jizz in me, then you're like, okay, what? How many other guys are you begging to jizz in your?
Maybe they
snooze?
just think you're the one. Hey, if you go to Sam Tripoli,
It's always that. It's always that for sure.
If you go to samtripoli.com, dude, you can check out all my amazing videos. Everything goes to there. Less ads from YouTube, you know. And by the way, shout out to Rumble for showing us so much fucking love. We love Rumble. Thank you, Rumble. All my
Rumble is the best.
Rumble is the best. We don't care if a gay lizard runs it, okay? You know, show me an app, I'll show you a gay lizard, okay?
That is true, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. I'll show you a trans indigenous
What is that like
person.
retarded Shrek there on the left? What was that?
Here,
What's
go
that?
back. Which one?
Who's that? The guy. on the
That's a
left.
Nephilim giant.
Oh, okay.
That's a Nephilim
Got
giant.
aliens,
Speaking of giants,
trans,
did you-
alien, and Martha. Luther
Did you
King.
see the trailer
Okay.
for the Odyssey,
No.
the new Christopher Nolan movie?
So it looks good.
Matt Damon. Yeah, it's got like a big troll in it. You remember the Odyssey, like Odysseus and all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Not really,
pretty
but go
cool.
on. So go down.
We read that book in high school, right? That's
Yeah.
what you're talking
My
about. Okay.
premium content is on fire. Check it out. More bang for your buck. You get better premium content on samtripoli.com than you get anywhere else. Go down. Cash Days, talk about Johnny.
It's a podcast hosted by Sam Tripoli and this fella called Howie Dewey. and I'm on there
Howie
too.
Dewey.
And he is a financial wizard. He's an ex Wall Street person, and we talk about the week in finance and money, and he makes some suggestions about how you could possibly. Sorry, Dana's texting me while we're podcasting. Like, how you could possibly prep yourself for retirement, etc.
Okay. I love it. And guys, if you want to make your money work for you, you got to learn how to invest it. And this is a great show. We were telling you a long time ago to buy gold and silver. Look at where it's at right now. Chaos Twins,
boy.
I'm working
Through the
on.
roof. Yeah.
Through the roof, dude. Go down.
All time highs.
And then check out our t-shirts, by the way. I mean, you guys got to get this new shirt. It's probably one of my favorites I've ever made. It's so right. I'm going to get Jeff Dye a t-shirt. I get my news from Sam Tripoli. I mean, it's just
It's
on.
so funny, dude.
Dude, I think anybody that performs at your comedy chaos would wear this T-shirt.
Yeah,
I think you should
You
just
should
have
make
them.
everybody wear it like a uniform. Yeah. Everybody.
Okay,
comes up.
here's your uniform for the show. What? Yeah, just dress up. This is how we dress up.
It's a theme show. We all dress up in Sam Tripoli merch. So.
Okay. Go check it out.
They're
Only
all 20 bucks.
20 bucks, dude.
Come
Show
on.
me another place that does that. It doesn't exist. And then our premium content, gold, silver. Mineral King. We love Pat Miletich. That he's crushing it in life. I'm so happy for him. Aqua Cure, Hydrogen Brown Gas, Harley Ray, Chemical Free Body, Joel Staley with his workouts, EMF Rocks, which is those Faraday bags. They protect you from dirty electricity, grounded by nature. Prometheus, if you're looking for a decentralized website. And Brain Supreme, if you like when my good friend Xavier Guerrero asks poignant questions. Bang, there you go. Anything else?
Hit that like button, subscribe. Go check out my podcast, XG Marks the Spot. We just went live. Please go check it out.
And then Johnny.
Broken Sam is out presumably by now. So,
all the time,
check it
every
out.
time. Guys,
Yeah.
I thought it was a great episode. I was very happy with it. I thought he crushed it. And, you know, I think people are starting to wake up that there's dark forces. And you see, here's Generation Z. They're getting more into traditional relationships. They're stop using pronouns. They're going to church.
Boy, I hope that's true.
Yeah. I mean, the problem with social media is only the retards go viral. That's the truth.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
only the retards.
He brought it up. What do you think about how celebrities be sacrificing their kids to make them trans? Like,
Dude, so when I would hear all these crazy stories about Dwayne Wade on the road and like things he would do.
I remember you saying, yeah.
Could you try again?
No, I can't. Stop listening to me.
It's so
Okay.
weird when your phone. Yeah, he's like, okay, I will.
Okay. Stop listening. Anyways, so I would hear these stories about him. I go, because the great example is Michael Vick, right? Michael Vick was the man when he came into the league, and everyone's like, this guy's the guy. And then, you know, he was doing Coke commercials, all these commercials. He had all these handlers, but once they realized he wasn't the man anymore and they all kind of went away, then he was susceptible and he got in trouble for dogfighting. So my whole theory is that once the limelight leaves and you don't have handlers cleaning it up anymore, that's when you get in trouble. And I thought that was going to happen with Dwayne Wade, and then suddenly he's now hosting some shitty game show. He's on
Dwayne Wade is hosting a show.
it's
something
on-
called The Box or The Cube.
Yeah, it's on like
The
ABC
box.
or NBC. Yeah, I'll show up. I'll put it up.
Yeah, it's called The Cube. And then his kid comes out trans, you know, and it's just like, oh shit,
What
dude.
color is the cube by chance?
It's clear on the show, or maybe it's black behind it. It's meant to look clear, but it's black, you know. So there you go, dude. It's like, so. By the way, I'm going to try to get Bishop Larry Gators back on.
Ooh, brother.
You
The
know,
guy who said we were Satanists?
yeah, the guy and then we're going to confront him.
But Sam's a Christian now, so
I'm a Christian.
Fuck.
Now,
hit him
but
with
that
that.
implies that he was a Satanist before. Now
No,
he's a
go to
Christian.
images. Yeah, look at the black. It's black. It's clear, but it's all
Well,
black.
he's black. No, Dwayne Wade is black. So he's brings the black, and then the cube is the clear behind. He fills
Yeah,
up
look
the
at
cube
that
with
black cube right there.
I mean, look, black cube, black man cube, black cube.
so which
Black man cube.
Couldn't be
which,
more obvious.
Which kid of his did he sacrifice for this kid?
Look up Dwayne Wade's trans kid.
It's interesting. What do you think how this applies to Elon?
Right there.
Because Elon kind of talks about it like they sacrificed his kid.
Yeah, I'm sure.
The way he talks about
How
it.
about his new baby's mama, who is anti-trans, is now, I'm sorry I said all that. I can't believe it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
shouldn't have said that. And he's like, she's going to transition his kid, and I'm going to fucking take her to court. And he can get the lawyers to do it.
Do you think they're targeting him like with that shit? Like they're making those like trying to fuck with him to make
Well,
his,
I'm sure every woman he's had kids with wanted to be his wife. And when he doesn't marry, I call it the Crystalia effect.
yeah.
When you you didn't marry or date these chicks or marry them, they get vindictive and angry,
Yep.
and they just come at you. Now she's like, because I don't know how much child support she's getting. I hear it's not that much, and she's probably pissed,
He's probably got good lawyers. Yeah, you're right.
right? And he's 5,000, and she's like, "Arr." Like that chick who married Brittany Reiner, right?
Griner?
No, Reiner.
Reiner.
Like she married
is that Rob Reiner or
PJ
something?
Washington.
That hot shit. Yeah. Who's like?
Well, she was like way older. She's like in her 30s.
yeah.
He's like 18.
Yeah, I know who you're talking.
And he just sauced her up. And now she's like just hell bent on destroying him. It's such a weird thing.
This chick right here?
Brittany
Yeah.
Renner.
Yeah, Renner, yeah.
Renner.
She got knocked up by, it's like she's a crazy person. Like she was Muslim
she's like
for
40,
a week.
right? Ain't she like way older than that
Yeah,
guy?
but she was like in her late 30s when he was playing basketball at, where was it? North Carolina?
He was in Charlotte. No, he went to Kentucky.
Yeah, Kentucky, but he was in Charlotte, and he was and like she was stalking him when he was in college.
One of the best trades we ever made, by the way. We got the top 2 protected Mavs pick next in 27, Dro. That's a
You got the pick coming up?
Yeah, not this year, but the next year, and the Mavs are going to
Oh,
stink
you guys
then too.
missed this year.
No,
great.
I don't think they're going to. I think they're still rebuilding next year, and that's going to be like 5 to 10 for PJ Washington. Are you kidding? Guys stinks.
Yeah, I'm with you, dude.
So what do you think about like Elon, do you think that does he have the, like, you would think that somebody like that who's a master of mankind with that much money should just be given the money, like, to, like, take care of their kid, like just unlimited funds,
I mean, that's
right?
what I do.
Right? Yeah. Why would you fight? Like, it's weird, right?
Like, if you were making like 50 grand a year, I could see why you would fight just to be able to live.
Right. But if you got
But
unlimited
you're the
funds,
richest man on planet Earth. Give them money. What the fuck?
Yeah. I thought at first, I'm like, good for him. But then I'm like, no, that's a kid.
My favorite is when women have to pay child support and they flip the fuck
That's
out.
hilarious.
They're like, what the hell? You're like, yeah, dog. That's how it goes. You
Wait,
know?
is she now like a Muslim?
No,
Brittany
she was
Renner?
like a Muslim for a week.
Oh, okay.
Like, she's just a crazy person. And now that she's older and she doesn't have that
Boy,
pull she used to.
You mean that ass? She used
No,
to be one of the hottest women alive, huh?
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah, look at that. How come that has to be so small?
Lordy, Lordy,
No,
look.
made no sense. They tricked me, but I'm gonna click on it anyways.
Wait, what did I say about Dion? What's that headline? God, the New York Post. It's like navigating a Tetris game or something to try to. Deion Sanders, Brittany Renner would have saved me $20 million. What does that mean?
I don't even
Now
know.
I have to know what that means.
But we
Because she
came,
probably not, he probably wasn't, he probably paid way more in child support.
we came here for this. Johnny.
Yeah. I mean, just, isn't it crazy how ass meat jingling can get you millions of views?
I've never seen somebody where their whole ass couldn't fit. Like, did you see? There's
Oh,
even
those are
more
the shorts now.
at
They
the bottom.
purposely do that.
Yeah, that's
That's like, look at this. I could put it on a shelf.
It's like two asses.
yeah.
Yeah.
Got this. By the time people hear this, there will have been this huge winter storm in the south. Are you guys following that? This massive ice
It's in
storm
Texas, too.
going through. Yeah, like all right up the. It seems like one of these kind of,
Is this the same one that froze Texas last year type of thing?
like, it could be is what
Yeah.
everybody's saying. Yeah, I saw. The funny thing was, I got my email was just blasted the other day by Tucker Carlson. Like, you got to stock up now on emergency supplies. This is the real one. And I'm like, dude, really? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, anybody's gonna get anything in the mail by this weekend? You know, on a Wednesday.
Dude, New York Post is just trash. Look at these
Garbage, dude.
Look at these two. Can you go over there? Can you move it over?
Oh, I thought you wanted me to click on that.
No, that's fine. Clicking on it. OB1 visit for 2 reasons. Extraordinary talent. Like
What?
Buxom?
None of those words are in what you said. O1B visa,
Yeah.
and now it's covered up by a
Fuck is
Speedo ad,
this
so I
shit?
don't know.
How do you even get rid of this?
Go down. Go down. Go down. Yeah, she got because
Buxom
she's
means
an
got
adult
big
film
titties.
star. Adult film stars are getting these visas now, which I'm not against.
Well, you got to show you
See,
got the
but-
money, I guess, right?
No, well, that's the thing is these visas are supposed to go for like influencers and like talent and like comedians, but you have to prove that you have a little bit of income. So the ones that can prove it are OnlyFans chicks, so they're getting
Yeah.
visas to come in here, and
Totally.
people are getting mad because like we already have enough hot ass in this.
No, we can never have enough hot ass. Go back one. Go back one. Go back one video. One click.
Oh,
I don't know. About
Oh yeah,
her.
that's and she's Jewish too. She's like,
Yeah, I was about to say she looks like.
have you ever seen her? She's like, I'm Jewish. Of course I'm blah blah blah. Oh, there it is.
She looks like
Annabelle.
the chick at CBS.
Is she
now.
crying?
What's her name at CBS? Who you were just talking about earlier? That's who she looks like. What's the woman that just took over CBS? What's her name?
Oh, Barry
yeah,
Weiss.
that's who she's.
That's
like
like if
Barry
you had
Weiss.
a porno version of Barry Weiss.
Yeah, it's totally what it is. Like that. Remember Porno Palin?
God.
Nailing Palin? Or
Yeah,
whatever?
by
She looks-
Elisa Ann.
yeah, she looks like the Lisa
Go down,
Ann,
go down,
so-
go down. Oh, so
Barry
they
Weiss.
showed her face on the game, and now she's acting like she's had some burning.
Oh yeah,
burden.
Bella Danger.
Yeah, she's like, oh God, I can't shy.
dude, we've seen you
My
naked.
face without jizz on it. I
Yeah,
can't
oh
believe
my
it.
God. Normally, when there's 10 black guys working, it's her.
She
Oh,
is
this is
very
the clip.
pretty.
This is the clip she's complaining about, probably.
She is very pretty.
That's it.
Like, what's she upset about?
Like if
Dude,
anything,
you know, chicks like everything is the biggest thing ever to happen. That's like dramatic.
and if anything, you should. What do you
I
think?
hate this. She told her, oh my God, even though we lost, I don't care. That game tonight proved that no one else deserves to be on a national.
My
be
boyfriend
in
had
the
5
National
stolen
versus
bases.
Miami. Miami deserved that. Everyone counted us out. I don't care. So what's she mad at?
She's not mad.
She's mad. She's acting like she's like hot chicks love to.
My boyfriend hit a triple, so I don't care.
She's like, I hooked up with half the fuck special teams.
Yeah, it turned out it was
These
just a
young
trainer.
guys, they don't give a shit
I know. Why would they?
that they're porn stars. Like when I was young, you loved porn stars, but you wouldn't date them. These guys are like, I'm going to put a ring on her finger. They just don't care.
Yeah, it's
they're
really
just
dumb.
wild. Like
They-
NBA players date porn stars all the time.
Really dumb, dude.
It's so dumb.
That's got to be that shit Charlie Robinson is trying to talk to them about. Like, hey, don't sauce up a fucking NBA. I mean, a porno chick, bro.
Well, what about
Number one
Garoppolo? Remember he was dating that one porn star.
Jimmy Garoppolo, yeah.
He became the I forgot what.
What was her name? Let me see.
Where did he become like the fucking main quarterback in?
San Francisco.
Yeah.
And then he started at the Pats and then went to San Francisco, right?
It's like Drake's baby mama. Drake only has one baby mama. He could have had any chick he wants, and he still ended up with the porn star.
And then,
Like, how?
dude, Zion Williams and his gay face can't stop hooking up with fucking.
Oh, he's an idiot, dude. What
Dude,
an idiot.
Tell
Like,
me you
what
don't
a
have a dad without telling me you don't have a dad.
waste of talent, right? Like, just an utter waste of talent.
Carson Beck's sister steals spotlight. Nobody gives a shit about his sister. Let's see if she looks like a Haitian too.
Dude, this woman that Jimmy Garoppolo is like a sort of a fetish kind of chick. Like, she's not.
Pretty hot.
Yeah.
No, not her. I'm talking about the Kiara Mia, this woman that Jimmy Garoppolo hooked
Dude,
up with
I
is
could
not
tell you
hot
stories about
to
her.
me.
Anyways, so that's it, dude. Thank you guys for watching the show.
Sorry about that, everybody.
We didn't really break down the episode. We did a little bit. We loved him.
We talked about porn for
Peter Japanese crushed it.